Hey, we're forward. Okay, so we're going to keep going with this, and we're going to get to the first processes of prepping the material properly and following all our steps and getting things ready for the mill. So the first thing is that we now have, as I said, my 3 sample pieces of wood, but there's a couple of things that you need to make sure that you've done if you're going to, make sure you get the best result out of your wood and it looks the best, right? So one of those is the prepping process, which basically is to prep the material by sanding it. Like if you got dirt or something that's on the surface that you don't want, maybe there's sap, you're going to need to take some sandpaper and start sanding that off. Once you get this is a sanded surface here. This surface has been sanded and then some linseed oil was added to the surface, so you can see it already brought it out and made it look amazing. I actually sanded it back down to take some stuff off because it wasn't necessary. We just wanted to make sure that we can get that kind of very nice varnish look without doing like so much work. Sometimes, if you want to spend more time, you can just make this almost like glass if you're going to go through or want to go through the process. So in one of the main parts of what we're doing right now is actually measuring our material here or our medium. And what we want to do is we want to have 2 different kind of measurement settings. And one is the actual media size, and that's going to be important, especially when getting it into the mill or the laser cutter, just knowing what size this media is as a whole. And then the second thing is the working space, because obviously I'm going to actually put my pattern where it seems more that, okay, that's where it should be, and also that it's actually balanced. And that's because this will be hanging from the ceiling as we discussed. So it's very important that wherever you assign your design, that it gets as balanced on your media as possible. So let me give an example. So with this media, as you can see, there was a slight shave off here. We're not sure what exactly happened to the rest of this, but I still love it. It's a beautiful piece. So if you notice that the curve starts going here, and we can just assume that we could just make that curve just connect here. And so we're dealing with the oval here. However, if we, let's say, fit it to here, it's going to be off balance because this part down here is going to still be kind of outweighing, just getting the weight kind of off. And that's going to equal where you're going to have to like do kind of a balance stack with your copper strings or your copper cable. So you don't want to do that. You want to make this as even as possible. So if you notice here, there's actually an area where I feel like, auspiciously, that this is a great area to have the design. So I'm actually going to begin the design here, since that's where that starts. And instead of ending it here, I'm going to be in consideration of how much space is from here to here, and I'm going to bring it all the way down to here. So I'm going to actually have my pattern from here to here. So that's from here to here, right? And I think that aesthetically, keeping it balanced, using as much space as possible, etc., is the best. And I've already done those measurements. Actually, I did the measurements of the media space, and then I'm going to do the measurements of the workspace. Same thing with this one. I'm going to, plot it out in my mind, probably start from here, bring it all the way down here, maybe even into this a little bit just to get it balanced, because that end down here. And then this one's, because it's a circle, just really stretching it out to the edges. So when I measure my working space, I'm going to just keep in mind what area I'm actually going to be working with. I guess that's why they call it the working space. So that's it. I'm going to do that right now. Speed along through this. It's gotten dark outside. I actually did this whole recording once, and the memory card on one of these things just kind of gave out. But that's all good. So it's just, as long as it takes me to get into things sometimes, and just dial it in, take the breaths, like as much intention as I can put into it, and it is a part of the craft. So if I have to spend time on something, whatever part that may equal, even if it's finding a great memory card that's going to work and retaking a few takes, etc., that's all part of the work, and that's how it gets done one way or another. So I'll talk to you soon, Wholeness.